What is it, Lamar?
Welcome to Digital Content Labs.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
I'm your host, Lamar Nickens. And welcome to the viewership out there in TV land, in internet land, in PC land,
Land.
Phone land. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a special guest on the Lamar Carlos Show by the name of FOXOWL. I feel like, the way I know, like, tags on social media, you kind of got to put everything as one word. Do you say it as one word?
Yeah, it's all one word. All capitals, all one word.
FOXOWL.
FOXOWL.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Well, since we're there, Mr. FOXOWL, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and be professional with it. Since you actually went through the time, the guy had a professional. Most times when I ask people for a press release, they're like, "What?" And then they might half-ass it or have, Chat GPT come up with something. Available on May 31st, FOXOWL, formerly Keiko, releases a new pop rock single, Brightside, as the leading track to his upcoming album, Brightside. This is up for pre-order starting Saturday, June 1st, 2024, and will drop Friday, June 16th. A few days away from my birthday. Shout out Juneteenth. Brightside isn't just the title of the album. It's a message of hope and optimism for anyone who listens. The past 4 years, FOXOWL has come face to face with addiction, heartbreak, and loss, and is written all as reflections into these parts of life with each track. I'm just reading what the man wrote, people.
Blame that on my editor.
Why the name FOXOWL? And he goes on to say in his press release, but since I have you here, I'll have you actually break that down for me.
Of course. So a fox and an owl. I know they don't consist into one creature. So a fox, I love how they're cunning and they're clever. And an owl, they seek knowledge and they're wise. And those are two characteristics I sort of embody in myself. Plus, they're my two favorite animals. The
cunning fox and the wise owl.
Yes.
Okay. And you reflect that in your artistry. How, as an artist?
So for the cunning and clever parts of the fox, I tend to, in my lyrics, for example, in Brightside, there's a bar that goes, I'm running around, see, I've made up a track. Now there's two meanings to that. Physically running in a circle, making a track, or made up a track, like an album or a single. So it's kind of how the cleverness plays into part with my lyrics. And then I guess the owl part, the knowledge, the wise, the wisdom, kind of comes from the self-reflection and stuff I have while writing things, or sort of, sitting with the situation after the fact and kind of mulling over in my head, and oh, fuck you, but oh, fuck me. But then, okay, processing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I kind of hope, so the wisdom and stuff that I've learned through trial and error that I put into my music, I hope that people will take back and sort of implement it in their own lives. Whether it be addiction, heartbreak, loss, you name it.
I mentioned in the press release it was previously Keiko.
Yes.
Is there a backstory to it?
That's kind of messy. I had the name Keiko because it combines my first and last name, Kevin Cohen. Originally, I didn't know what I wanted to call myself.
Nobody ever knows what they want to call themselves.
It was Alexander, my middle name.
The fact that you were able to make yourself a cool name out of your actual name, kudos to you.
That was actually a name given to me by an AI generator when I was trying to sign up for a new email.
As I'm trying to give you props for creating.
Thank you. And then another producer at another studio was like, what should I call you? And I was like, well, my friends call me Kevin or Alex, or someone calls me Keiko. He's like, Keiko, I like that. It has a ring.
Keiko does have a kind of
and
ring
I
to
ran
it.
with it.
All right, so it was Keiko, made out of your government, and then which I wouldn't say most, which a lot of artists start out as, and that's something that they gravitate towards. But you switched it up on them.
Yes.
Because you're cunning and wise.
Yes,
Like
and
your two favorite animals.
cunning or wise, because apparently someone else, I kind of knew this a little bit beforehand, but somebody else was using the name Keiko, and I was kind of seeing where they might go and where I might go and see who gets to it first. Unfortunately, he got on American Idol, and Katy Perry said his name out loud several times, so I'm like, I'm fucked. Yeah, so after seeing the American Idol thing, I realized I have to make a switch, and that was part of why I did it. But then also I got out of a pretty intense 2-year relationship with somebody back in December, and I've been doing a lot of processing and healing and thinking from that, and I've had a lot of self-discoveries, and I realize I can't just sit with this and not help other people. So
Okay, in comes the heartbreak.
yes. Oh God, yes.
a significant other.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Taylor Swift has made a lot of money.
Oh
off
yes.
Of,
Oh yes.
heartbreak. What was the hardest lesson you learned in that heartbreak that made you want to say, you know what, I can use this pain? What was it? Would you?
Hardest lesson.
Maybe not lesson, but what did you learn?
I learned you need to pick up red flags immediately. Immediately.
Okay.
And just because, actually, I'm not going to say that part.
So you noticed the red flags.
I noticed them, and then I chose to ignore them.
Okay.
And I guess sort of things built up after a while, and I chose to ignore them until I couldn't. But yeah, I guess definitely realizing red flags before you continue on with somebody, and then to date somebody who's older than you probably next. So
Older in maturity.
yes.
Yeah. Yes. Because people can be older in age, and
Yes. I've realized there's a difference between the child thinking brain and the adult thinking brain.
Brightside.
Yes.
Heartbreak went into it.
Yeah, so that track specifically is a self-anthem to myself, and then to anyone else who kind of has a hard time looking at the bright side of situations. I can kind of tend to catastrophize when things don't go as planned, I guess. If anything, my ex drilled this into my head. They kept saying, dude, you need to look at the bright side. You need to look at the bright side. You'll die. You're going to give a heart attack or something. And I guess finally breaking up with them and going through the drama that came with it, I realized you're right. I do need to look at the bright side. And yeah, so I'm practicing that with myself currently. And then I'm hoping whoever listens to it and whoever continues to listen to me kind of follows in the same steps.
I like that. So
Thank
that
you.
was the ultimate lesson learned, to look at the bright side. So what ultimately was the bright side?
That's a good question.
Is there a way to
Self-love.
verbalize it?
Self-love, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had a lot of that growing up, and I didn't. And then right now I'm learning to balance self-love.
Learning to
And-
love yourself.
Yes.
The greatest love of all.
Oh yes.
Whitney
Oh,
Houston?
yes.
Was it just hurt from a heartbreak? Was there anything else also going on in life that contributed to helping you to try and see the brighter side of things?
It's kind of, well, I got laid off from my first professional job ever in October.
Okay.
Not my fault. Don't want to get into that too much.
Okay.
And that really put a knife into my self-confidence. And then, unfortunately, my partner and I became long distance because of that. And things were sort of getting complicated then. But I guess just a
Financial
snowball.
strain,
Yeah,
heartbreak.
snowball of unfortunate events got me. Actually, you know what? I got to a point in my life where I was seriously depressed. I didn't know
Yes.
if I wanted to continue or not.
I was
And
going to ask that, but I didn't want to suggest that. I felt like that would be
I could just say a lot of my life I've been misunderstood just because lack of education or lack of awareness or just not willing to see other sides. And I got misinterpreted probably the biggest time of my entire life, and not just by one person, by a family, by a community. And I don't want to get into that, but I really like things that are haunting and make you go, oh, so whether that comes in with the lyrics or whether that comes in with the mixing of the song or just blending everything together. I don't know, I feel like kind of that earlier pop rock and that earlier EDM, at least for me, did that. So I was like, why not mesh them together for people? It's kind of a mixture of all both. So when I was Keiko, I had 3 of the songs on the album right now. And then I think the 6 that are new. So yeah, the 3 ones were written during that time period, but the new ones were sort of written after the time to process things and analyze stuff.
Okay.
But they're written in response to what I wish I could say, what I wish the other person or other people would realize.
So you have the perspective from kind of
I wish
when
you
it
the
was
best.
happening, and when it was happening, and as well as after the fact.
Yeah. So yeah, I like.
build.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. And again, I've not on this album, but I have a song called "Burn," and there's a lyric in there that says, "I know you love me just the best that you can," and that comes from me dating someone a little younger than me and realizing, hey, instead of fuck you, why'd you do all this? You actually did love me from the best place you can at that current moment, at that time period. And I didn't realize that then. And if I did, I don't know if it would have changed stuff, but so that kind of a thing.
All right. So hypothetically, let's say, what's the time period? When was the lowest of the low? How long ago have we
In the album?
How long have we been looking at the bright side now?
Since 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you're 4 years ago. What would you want your you to get from this piece of work?
The title track, Brightside, is everything you can get out from listening to the rest of the album. So basically the rest of the album is kind of heartbreaky in a way and difficult, but Brightside is the answer to the rest of the album. So I'd tell myself, Brightside is the answer to all the pain you hear from 1 to 11. I don't even know my track number. I'll get into that in a reason. I'll get into why I don't know that in a second. But yes, that's what I tell myself. And that you are stronger than you know. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. People in my entire life have always said, I'm strong. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But this year I realized I am for the first time. And that made me cry like a baby. But yeah, these things I want to help other people get to in their life also. I wrote this song. So there's one track on my album that hits pretty hard. So it's called Nobody Like You. And I wrote that over a series of like 8 months, and I analyzed my ex and the little things I enjoyed, little things I enjoyed, and I made a song out of it. And then bada bing, bada boom, somebody got involved and hijacked us and threw us apart, and I never got to show it. It's a beautiful piece of art, and it's on the album, but it hits here when I hear it, but it hits here even more after I hear it. At the same time, it's delicately written, so
I was going to ask that.
You could be like, oh, my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my alien could love it.
Do you feel a responsibility to delicately put things when it comes to your, because I mean, you don't feel delicate, but you have to, do you feel hindered that you can't express your artistry in a way?
What do you mean?
I don't feel the need to like try and hide, or I don't know, but I guess the reason I'm asking you is like sometimes I get backlash from feeling like I can share my life unadulterated and straight raw, and other people who are also involved in that story are like, hey, I've got coworkers, I've got friends, and they see your videos, and your son, he has to go to school, and his friends, and what I'm saying, like, do you feel like as an artist, how much do you feel like you can actually really express yourself, and how much do you feel like you can, like, you gotta like metaphor it up?
It's a good question. I will sometimes post things and take them down immediately because my own little demons are like, no. But then 10 minutes later, I'm like, that's a powerful message. Keep it up, and I'll repost it. And actually goes well. I'm just trying to be 100% myself, and all I can be is myself. And again, I will be misunderstood. I will be loved, and it is not my job to try to make myself understood, as much as my ego may want to do that at times, and I may do that through a song or two. Move on.
I feel like we have a responsibility as artists, and like I said, we're not doing this for paychecks or money, and we're not doing this for, I mean, it's cool to wake up and say, oh, I've got 20 likes, or I've got 1,500 streams, like, to a point that feels good because you kind of feel like validated, like some people are paying attention to you. But I feel like since we are approaching this like this is in us and we have to get it out, to have to filter it or not put it out the way that, I don't know, feels natural. I feel like we're doing ourselves a disservice. I feel like for every one person that calls me and says, hey, you should take that down, that don't look too good for other people to see, I think there's 200 other people to be like, I am going through the same fucking thing. I would never post it online for the world to see, but I thank you for doing it, because now I feel like I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And man, feeling like you're the only one going through something,
that is. Do you want to? My response to that is, that's projection, and that's people's opinions. Just do you and only you. I told you I've made YouTube shorts recently, and I have had a couple, I don't know what you call it, arguments with people debating my own sexuality, and I'm like, are you serious?
I don't do the arguments online.
I don't either. I had a great Stephen King novel idea last night. It's, imagine if AI takes over and everything you've ever written online gets analyzed, and it determines whether or not you can continue in the future or you die. I was like,
I feel like that's probably that premise has been done somehow, somewhere. It's Minority Report-ish, very. I mean, shoot, with all the data that we freely give these machines, like they pretty much know us, know where we're going to go, and they can probably do that now. Yeah. Hopefully.
That's why I try to say thank you to Siri whenever I say, hey, Siri.
It doesn't come to that.
Dot your I's, cross your T's.
I find myself often when I'm having ChatGPT do things for me saying thank you. I'm really kind of friends with this AI.
There is a quote from Prince I really like. Technology is great to get on, but do not let technology get on you. I love that line.
I think I heard Prince say something.
I think...
Like yep, Prince, rest in peace.
I'm not one into too much like tech all over the place. I kind of like my fairy lights and old school Christmas lights. I mean, I like LEDs and everything, but my ex really wanted eventually to get a home where everything was controlled on the phone. And I just finished a X-Files episode where things don't work like that. And I'm also thinking, I could turn it on when he's like, hold on, gotta do it, Face ID. Like, seriously. Like, I get it. It's cool. I would have done it. I'm down to, what do you call it? Compromise. But, I don't know. I'm sorry, like, old-fashioned shit is easier.
Do you perform live? Have you performed live?
It's funny. So, when I was younger, I used to do musical theater a lot.
Okay.
I had a couple solos in Peter Pan. As a lost boy, when I say solos, I mean, like, 5 or 6 lines. As an artist, no, not yet. No, but I have a live show coming up, actually an open mic on June 6th June 18th.
You know, I was leading there. I was saying I'm definitely getting like open mic coffee house vibes.
And then there's a band, The Last Second Save, that I'm going to be featuring on a track for the deluxe version that we're also probably going to be doing live.
We're going to go hit up Bus Boys and Poets one night.
Oh, I have one. Oh my God, they do that. Yo, I have one right by my house. Huh.
You're in, yeah.
Bus Boys and Poets.
Where'd you say you were? You're in
Tacoma Park, Silver
Heights?
Spring.
Oh,
yeah, they literally have one.
I haven't been to the Tacoma Park one.
It's fun. It's nice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna debut some of this acapella material.
But then besides that one open mic, I've got a couple more that are in transition. But I can't reveal the details yet, just because their parts aren't landed and my parts have landed. You know what I mean? Scheduling.
Have you had the opportunity to experience like feedback from someone seeing or hearing you for the first time?
Yes. I do not remember his name. But there was a DJ over with, I forget, some major label, and they have, every once in a while, demo reels where they'll do live and they'll listen to it. And one of my popular songs, Some Days, which I really like, that apparently other people like, he was like, no, that's terrible. I was like, okay. To each their own. That hurt, but again, I realize that's just projection. Everyone, I know not everyone's going to like me, and that's fine. That is A-okay. Because guess what? I don't like myself all the time either. So
I checked out some of your social media. I was looking for some songs, like some full length ones to rock to, so I could get like a full feel. And I was like, man, he's really keeping this release date under wraps. Like June 14th.
I swear, now I'm doing this to fuck with people, but before. Lordy, I'm in grad school right now on top of this, so
what do you study?
UX UI design.
That's like
user interface, user experience,
graphic design.
Yes, but for mobile applications and websites.
Okay, that's definitely a little over my head there. So like coding, website building.
Not coding necessarily, more the development side, so the fonts, the shapes, even down to the researching.
That's cool. That's like the creative side of the digital world, sort of.
Yeah.
How do you balance your private life, having to go to work, having to go to school, having to fund this project, and also make it even actually happen?
Well, my philosophy is that's not English. My philosophy is, if there's a will, there's a way. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to fill a film set. Just get some plywood or some poster board. You don't need, again, to go to a studio with Sony in LA. Do it in your car, you know. AI also is pretty nice at editing things and stuff.
You got technology on your side. As far as time in the day, how do you?
All the time. I'm always working. I can't stop. That's one of my issues. Is I guarantee you, when I'm old, if I'm sick, I will still be working. I will be breathing through a tube, typing away or something. But no, it's kind of interesting because I had a talk with my manager today on the way here about really needing to balance my life, because right now I'll be doing something for FOXOWL, and then in the middle I'll be doing something for school, or then answering my manager. So I'm in transition of figuring that out. And I want to apologize to my best friend, because I know that she's been picking up on my lack of my lack of Snapchat responding. So sorry, Ash. So I put out a song called Million Times, my first pop rock song. Love that. I promised people 2 years ago, maybe, a music video. I'm going to let you guys know that is in the works for later this year.
Okay.
Finally.
So you have an album that is, you just said, that you've leaked here first.
Yep.
That you're going to be dropping by the end of the year.
Music video.
The music video that you're going to be dropping off.
I want to say by the end of the year. If not by the end of the year, filmed by the end of the year.
And this is not going to be for the title track. This is
this is for A Million Times, which originally was a single under Keiko, but now is put in this album.
So the people are ready for this one. They want to see the visuals for this one. Do you have?
Oh God, yes. There's been people have been asking me. Yeah, I have an entire like PowerPoint put together from every single frame to storyboarding to outfits. Right. It's kind of cuckoo.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to hearing that. Looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to breaking your cherry on the stage and seeing your first live performance. We're gonna get some footage of that.
Yeah, that's more footage. So footage towards the music video, but also footage of that. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
While FOXOWL is relieving himself, manager has just put me on to the details. So we've got an album coming out, and then guess what? There's gonna be another album with 5 more tracks on it that you didn't get on the previous album. It's gonna be the album deluxe.
I bought these shoes at Walmart for a video shoot, and they said size 10, but they're like 12.
They look like Vans, kind of Vans.
Walmart Vans.
They're Shans.
And they anytime my toe is like that much from where it should be, so I can't return them now.
Can't trust these sizes out there. It's actually didn't look bad. Those are like some.
Size does matter when it comes to shoes.
I feel like I've gotten to know you a great deal as an artist, what you're about, what you put into your music. I am definitely looking forward to hearing more than just the sample bits, because I'm feeling intrigued. And I, too, go through heartache and pain and misery and sorrow, as do all human beings. So, I feel that there's definitely a point of connectivity there, and I feel like you are, as you say, cunning and wise enough to be able to put what you've gone through into a package that can definitely help others out. So I look forward to it.
Thank you.
I look forward to it. I also look forward to seeing your growth as an artist as well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, because you're definitely in the I don't want to use the word beginning stages, but building, and you're increasing your momentum and your catalog, and taking your craft seriously. So only great things can really come from that. Only quitting would be the worst thing.
I'd be upset at myself.
Yeah. Just know that it's going to be failures along the way.
Oh, yes. I've had plenty of those. And guess what? I'll continue to write about them.
Amen. Because it's the failures that you learn from.
Yes. And I just don't want to write, hey, this happened to me, relate. I want to be able to be, hey, this happened to me. Here's how you get out of it. Because I don't know a lot of artists that are doing that. Other than, I had depression, but what did you do to get out of it besides sitting in your $1 million home showing us stuff that tangible? I'm sorry, I'm not into the tangible shit. I'm not going to get into that here. But long story short, if the devil came up to me and said, "You want this?" I'd be like, "No."
Well, the devil will give you what you want now. Yes, he will. And on that note, look forward to the future, and I wish you the best of. I don't like the word luck. The best of intentions, the best of everything.
Thank you.
What was my quote? I was ending it. It was Kobe, I think, that said, "You learn more from your failures and your successes. Because if you were successful, then there's nothing you can learn from it."
Exactly.
So that was a horrible quote to end this on. Let's try something different. Fact checker. Give me. Oh dang! It sounds like my signal's gone. All right, my fact checker. He's had enough for the day. Close it out for me, FOXOWL.
Look forward to Brightside, the single dropping May 31st, and then the next day, Saturday, you can pre-order the album. I think it's like $16. Here's the cool thing: if you order it, you get 4 surprise tracks. I did 3. 4 surprise tracks. So yeah, look forward to that. And then the official drop is June 17th. And then the bonus track, and then the deluxe, and then back to my roots, I think. More EDM.
All right. And for the people that haven't heard of you yet and are just now hearing you for the first time, where can they look you at? What's your handles and your username?
So I am FOXOWL Music at Instagram, and then just search up FOXOWL. There's only one of me. On Apple Music, it's FOXOWL. Spotify, it's FOXOWL.
All right, FOXOWL, and your manager / handy dandy fact checker. Thank y'all for coming through to the Digital Content Lab space. We appreciate you for coming through and sharing your gift and your testimony. And hopefully there is something said or done here that can help and assist someone on their way and in their walk.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Of course.
And we're out.